Hey guys, it's Minish, and today we're going to be going over a new development that has taken place in the pokemmo community. Starting out, Team Mister, right, specifically Anarchy, one of my biggest detractors, when I was going over that the systems and the odds don't make sense in the game, as soon as they came out with the shiny locking mechanic that was introduced for not beating a region, I brought up the fact that it can't just be that. If they have a shiny limiting mechanic, it can't simply be for that one aspect of the game. Also, just that one aspect of the game is not okay. Even if it doesn't affect you, it's not okay. And here, you're starting to see people dig, right? Because now Team Mister has lost the Shiny War. And naturally, the Team Mister, I was hearing left and right that we're going to win. There's no way we lose. There's no way they lose. And they lost. And also, let's keep, since I don't see anyone else addressing this, let's keep an air of honesty, right? Where you have Elfberg, who is not a Team Mister member, and you had now, who at the time of joining was not a Team Mister member. It was an amalgamation of the best players in the game, and that's what it was. And majority of them were from Team Mister. But to call them Team Mister, that seems a little intellectually dishonest. But moving on, now people in Team Mister who have now lost, right? And obviously it can't be that the Chinese team just outperformed them. There's other systems that they themselves are suffering from. So now they're bringing up the fact that Q made a post a while ago talking about how we modify based off of an anti-cheat factor, right? Which completely coincides with the email I received where him saying the same exact thing to me, that based off of what he has seen based upon my marathon streaming sessions, he has, and this is, I'll show you the exact email so I'm not misquoting, but I seem to have fallen victim to such a system. And when I brought this up, and when Anarchy himself and a lot of others, and some people I considered close personal friends of mine, 3 moderators of 3 years, they all said that I can't ask for special treatment, and I wasn't acting for special treatment. I'm just doing this to make sure my personal information isn't shown. Yes, my first name is Jeff, but he says here, because I called them out for them saying, because remember in the support tickets, because the narrative that was passed is I was submitting too many support tickets, right? We're not going to get too into that, but they were saying that the system in place was random, despite it affecting me 19 consecutively times. And each support ticket, they were saying it was a random behavior over and over again. And I would resubmit, right? No offensive language. Here, I'll even show it now because everyone passed the narrative that, I deserved this ban, and what have you, at least from the Mister side of things. The general community agreed with me. But if you look at my support tickets all the way up, it says 4 captchas today. It says it's an automatic and random system. Next support ticket, the 2 in the beginning, these are from earlier that year, so now they're telling me again, captchas are a random and automatic system. Again, nothing is being toxic here. And then for the third one, again, they're automatic and random, so they are gaslighting me and saying that, my issues are not important, my issues do not matter, the game's issues themselves aren't real, it's in our head. It's not in your head when you have 99% of the community saying they're unaffected, and your account is seeing a recapture the second you come on. And where I made the argument is they already introduced a thing that says, hey, this automatic bot that we don't control, it does have the ability to reduce odds, right? That is now statically proven, right? So the 1 in 30,000 is not virtually static by the fact that if you don't beat a region quick enough, it doesn't count, right? So you have a lot of players, potentially myself, right? Devil's advocate, not a 100%, but right, the shiny lock is no longer considered static just for the fair reason that it will lock you if you don't beat a region quick enough. But here Q says, for example, players who spend excessive amounts of times farming items and money through simple mechanics such as payday can be flagged for review through the GMs or through automated systems. Sounds like what you're experiencing to me. So effectively, my account and the account that I was going 200,000 encounters 2 times were completely singles, by the way, which is more of a time investment than 455 hordes, right? Which you are now up in arms about, like, this can't happen, this can't happen. You know, you wrote me off, but now when it's happening to your own guy, now that you're affected, right? And this is the same thing I happen. We as a community need to stand out whenever anyone's infected and say this system is not good for the game. Because we play the best game. We love this game, and I'm still playing this game, although not enjoying it as much since, right? But we've had so many people quit. We have so many people mad about this, and to discount them, right, until it affects you, until you guys are saying this doesn't make sense, and then some people are saying, well, this isn't enough evidence, there's not enough of a correlation. If you look at anyone who's a statistician, and I have one guy here claiming to be, and because I've talked to one, right, because you can go into Fiverr and commission an actual guy with a degree who will run statistics for you, and I've done it. I was planning to do it with my bot video that I'll never release. But the fact that people are hitting 400,000, right? The fact that I am hitting 20,000, 200,000, 3 consecutive times inside of a 43 encounter shiny basis is virtually impossible. And 450, again, is virtually impossible. If you have a threshold of millions of results, 450 will happen, and that's the argument that most of the detractors will use. But the fact that it's happening as much as it is and as consistently as it is, and if you look account to account, a lot of people are significantly luckier and a lot of people are significantly unluckier, right? And they say this is the first time this has been documented. It's not the first time. In fact, Anarchy was the one specifically calling me out, saying that what I was saying was bullshit in my comments, and here he's saying it's not. So it doesn't make much sense to me, the flip-flop in ideals now that it's happening to them. No, this has been documented. When I played, I go on deployment, I come back, I play for a week straight. I play every day, 16 hours a day, whenever it's available, and that's been proven over time. And you can even see like the log. And it's not just limited to that. The fossil rates, Shamo has been doing numbers and paying people for data gatherers. The fossil rates have shown to be impacted by the payday system, right? And he has been documenting it for periods of years, not just this last year, for periods of years. And he's not seeing just a significant, like a little drop off. He's seeing a drop off of 90 fossils an hour. And it is crazy. You can look back at the Teddy Ursa post, and it says you should be getting 50% honey gatherers, right? 50% honey gatherers at the highest level when you use the pickup mechanic. But you notice that rate is very, very much not the case. In the past, it might have been the case, but it's not the case now. And this could be a quote-unquote bug fix, a regulation, but because they're not transparent about that, because the community doesn't pay that they're making the most grindy game in the world more grindy, these systems continue to go under our heads, because as long as you don't do anything about it, these systems will get worse, and you're going to lose a large, substantial part of your player base. We already have. It's really sad, because, again, I've seen the birth of players quit over the years, and very few people are representing these players, and very few people are even willing to say anything negative to the devs in any capacity. And no, I don't believe this is done on purpose. At least maybe the limiting of the fossils, maybe the control of the economy, right? And they could justify it, right? The ends justify the means mentality has been maintained and proven by the fact that they're willing to let new players' experience potentially go awry in the eyes of protecting everybody. They're willing to allow a bot system that will, right, has the potential to hurt players exist for the quote-unquote greater good. So if you think they're not willing to let a bot system reduce shiny odds for the quote greater good, the same way a bot system already does for the new players, to you, a late game player, if you think that isn't the case, no, they've already shown the morality that, look, we put these systems in the game, they're necessary. Also, whenever we do have a player who's experiencing these issues, what we're going to do is we're going to give them an automated response telling them it's random and it's automatic. and we're going to give these copy and paste responses, 3 different support tickets, mind you. So they already know about the issue, but what they're doing is they're silencing people who do the issues, right? And then meanwhile, you guys are saying we're not doing it the right way, the way it was approached was inappropriate, whatever have you, whatever you want to tell yourself at that point in time. But the reality is people were making forum posts 2 years prior to when I talked about it, and they were getting shut down. Right, I had the rose-tinted gasoline goggles. I hope that you guys now are like, huh, you know, these rate increases just don't make sense. And for a game as wildly successful as ours, you need to tell them. And then they're like, well, you know, my hat is always on. No, it's not a hat thing. People are hitting 200,000 consistently. People are hitting 90,000 consistently. And I've always made the argument, it's one of 3 things. A, there's an error in the odds. B, accounts are inherently luckier than others. Or 3, player behavior impacts the way you get shinies, right? So either I, for instance, payday farm too much, so my account is flagged as a bot account and it reduces my shiny odds, and then they can't tell you, because if they tell you, then the bots themselves can use the prior knowledge to circumvent and hunt a different way where they won't be affected, right? But I don't really see many bots making their money off of the shiny encounters. That's the thing. You see them making money off the fossils. You see them making money off of the payday pickup encounters. And then what do you see a reduction in, right? What do you see a reduction in? A documented reduction. You can talk to Sheba. He's way more knowledgeable than I could ever be. He is on the verge of quitting the game. It really sucks because he's one of the best people this community has. But he is seeing a 17-3 difference in fossils, right? So yes, this would curb the bots, but it's also entirely limiting a way to farm and play the game, right? So things to consider when you discount people, when you say it's a tinfoil hat. At minimum, you can hear the individual out, right? 450K is not supposed to happen. 230K 3 consecutive times within 40 attempts isn't supposed to happen, right? You can listen to these people, not be rude to them, not gaslight them, not say the way they approached it is wrong. I had a close friend of mine. Tell me that, and this sticks to me, and this is what made me almost quit the game, is I had a close friend, a moderator of 3 years, tell me that I am a detriment to the community. I'm going to make sure to zoom in so you don't have to see any of these extras, but man, this is crazy. Complaining about the forums, you're only an annoyance. So when I was almost banned, or when I considered, and shout out to Q, right? They seem to be taking their game seriously. They seem to be making improvements on the game. Not thanks to the Team Mr. individual, but thanks to the community at large. The payday system seems to have been reworked, and things seem to be a little bit better for us as players, which is why I'm still playing the game. But individuals such as this who say, you're an annoyance to the community and this is all your fault, and this is from somebody I considered a close friend. These are people putting the game back, right? Please, 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 for the love of fucking God, do not continue to downplay the struggles us as the players have gone through. For the first time in you guys' entire lives, you've played for 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, and now you're seeing significant drop-offs in your shiny rake. Imagine that for 3 years, and that's the guy you persecuted. All right, that's it, guys. See you.